Japan, known in many parts of the world as China's little brother or Chungakko no Oto in the local language, it still remains a mystery for even the heartiest traveler. Many find it hard to handle the hustle and bustle, as the Japanese rarely, if ever, stop moving. But even more than the rapid pace, it's the intense unfamiliarity. Beyond simple linguistic differences, there is the fact that everything is strange. The Western man sees nothing he recognizes.
Oh, good evening. I'm Nigel Woolcock, OBE. I've traveled all around Asia and like to know more about it than many of the people that actually live there. This evening I'm going to lift the veil of ignorance and show you what the tiny island country of Japan is really like. Don't be afraid though. I'll bring you right back here when we're done. I'm nothing if not a complete professional.
Whilst no longer openly hostile to foreigners, Japan has not exactly opened her arms to them either. One can go for weeks without meeting an English speaker, even in the city. Johnny just needs a little help with some directions, but there just isn't any to be found. In fact, it is quite possible to live in Japan for months without seeing a single foreigner. That is, unless you look in the mirror. If you're wondering just how different the Japanese culture could be from our own, you need look no further than one of the most basic needs of human life. Food. Many consider food to be a purely Western convention. However, food has recently gained popularity in Asia as well. That's right, food can now be enjoyed all over the world, even in the Orient. A little-known fact, however, is that even before its introduction from the West, food existed in Japan, although in a very primitive form. Consider the traditional proto-food, sushi. Uncooked, unflavored raw fish on top of a small lump of rice. By Western standards, this could hardly be categorized as edible. Yet in certain socialite circles in New York and London, sushi has become a noble delicacy for the discerning palate. In fact, the long and storied history of food in the Orient goes back as far as the 16th century, when Dutch seafarers in need of sustenance introduced many foods to Japan. These include such items as batter-fried vegetables and seafood, known as tempura. Thank you, Olaf and Sven. Rice, now considered to be an actual food by some revolutionary experts, is a dietary staple in Japan. Eaten 3 times a day, the words for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Japanese literally mean morning rice, noon rice, and evening rice. When you sit down to eat with your family, what do you use? One of these? Well, of course you do. And wouldn't you expect everyone to use such a simple tool? Well, the Japanese don't. They use 2 little sticks known as chopsticks, because you literally have to chop them apart in order to use them. Yes, it takes a lot of practice to be able to do it, Johnny, but don't worry. These chopsticks aren't good for eating everything. Yes, that's why the closest thing to the shape of an ice cream that you'll see in Japan is the trees. So although Japan has had food now for many years, they still have a long way to go. Good luck, boys. But chopsticks aren't the only thing that may hurt you in Japan. There are people here called the Yakuza, and they mean business. Mean business. The Yakuza matriculated into existence during the Edo period. Some started as Ronin and others as vigilante groups. You may have heard that during the Edo period, families feared the Yakuza, for they commonly ate children with their bare hands in front of parents for even the slightest of reasons. This is obviously false due to the fact that no Japanese would ever eat something without using chopsticks. In modern times, however, the Yakuza image has become much nicer. These days they no longer execute people in public, but instead lure them down back alleys and kill them there. As you can see, this explains the complete lack of public executions. A simple glimpse at history reveals that there are more Japanese people now than ever before. And you know what that means? Yes, more Yakuza. Just think of all the Yakuza scurrying about, littering the street corners with evil. Recently, modern Japanese people have found it fashionable to rid themselves of their mucus. Lately, the Yakuza have capitalized on their discovery of facial tissues. Messages are sent inside each tissue packet, varying from secret death orders for Yakuza to carry out to Yakuza application forms for civilians. Didn't find anything in your tissues, Johnny? I'd say that's good news for you. You may have heard of karate, an ancient martial art that hones the mind and body. Karate has become popular all over the world. Your favorite Hollywood cinema stars dazzle you with it at the Nickelodeon. Strong men perform amazing feats using techniques passed down from generation to generation. And empowered women practice it at the local community center. Hiya! You get 'em, Johnny. The Japanese use karate in every aspect of their daily life. Look over here. These people's deft use of chopsticks can be attributed to years of focusing their minds with ancient karate. Observe these women walking and even riding bicycles in high heels. Would they be able to do this without mastery of the art of karate? I think not. So when in Japan, keep your eyes peeled. You may just see some ancient karate in action.
So don your kimono and remove your shoes as you travel around Oriental Japan. And remember, they're not squinting at you, they're squinting with you. Join us next week as we journey south to the mysterious island continent of Australia and encounter its mysterious native aboriginal peoples. Auf Wiedersehen, good night, and konnichiwa.